Hey guys, Mitch here. Going to do a little trade recap for you. Coming in on the day, I had mentioned our kind of three zones or ranges coming in. My base case was that we would eventually kind of settle in this middle area here. Maybe we probed higher, maybe we dipped slightly lower, but my assumption was we would kind of find a balance here very similar to yesterday's price action where we just kind of ranged around and ended up finishing mostly flat around that strike. So what I was looking for on this initial dip on the morning sell was a long on NQ that I could take to get a consistency rule hit for my funded seat ultra daily plan. So I did take the long kind of from this key balance area, looking for just a short retracement back up into this range that maybe extended higher. We ultimately did not get that. But what we did get was an opportunity to leg in to a butterfly trade. And just like yesterday, the fly trade that I took looked just like this. It was a 25 wide box, essentially, saying I think we finished somewhere in this range. The closer we finish to this particular strike, the more I get paid. I sat in that all day until the end of my stream when it looked like we were starting to maybe test the bottom end of that range. I took off most, secured about a 75% total profit on that position. And then what I started looking for was the intraday positioning relative to the pre-market positioning. Was the story the same? Obviously, we kind of emptied out in this area. We started looking at this key strike, the 77.35 spot on SPX, which is about 77.55 or 60 on ES. And what I started looking at that point was if we weren't over that strike to make this kind of a move back towards the middle of this range, then we were likely to go test the top of this overall supportive structure. So if we were going to get persistent selling, it would have to move through all of this to be meaningful. Otherwise, we would likely find some way of either chopping there or drifting all the way back up. So I did take a put spread at that position, and that put spread was for 10 points, and it was targeting capturing this specific range. If it moved into this box at all, which you can see it did off of the rejection there, I made money on the initial direction, and the further we moved into this box, the more money I made. Then as we held there and I took most of my profit off, I started looking at us holding over this kind of key supportive structure and thinking, what's more likely? We continue to sell aggressively or we drift back towards my original bias in the middle from the pre-market structure. And I took a fly again that was more like this. And ultimately we fell a little bit short, but it was profitable up until this kind of rejection into the close. So all in all, very strong day of trades, multiple directions, multiple times.